Personal essay, My Neighbors by Cindy. My family lives in an apartment building with 6 floors and 8 houses. The family that lives on the second floor includes my classmates in first and second grades. They are Japanese, and sometimes the mom scolds her children very loudly so that on the fourth floor where I live, I can hear the kids scream. On the third floor, there are 2 households. On the right lives an old lady, and every time we meet her, she gives us candy and cookies. On the left-hand side is a family I don't see very often because they all go out to work or study. On the fourth floor on the left-hand side is an aunt. She is moving out now because we do not have an elevator. Because she is moving, she gives me and my sister many unique things that looks very old and dusty. They also have a kind of smell. It is kind of weird, and my mom says she thinks that the neighbor is giving us rubbish that she doesn't want. But I said I like these things. I think that is a very fun to search the unique things. Some of them are older than my mother. On the 5th floor, there is a family that is always screaming very loudly. One time, the little boy picked up a frog at school and put it in his pocket, and his mother was very angry and told him, "You take the frog back to the school or put it into the draining ditch." The little boy was very angry. He had the key to his house, and he threw the key into the draining ditch, and the family couldn't get back into their apartment. His father needed to take out the ditch cover and go down into the ditch and take the key out. I don't know what happened to the frog, and I hope that the frog is okay.
Poetry Haiku, Spring and Summer by Daniel. Spring will come at once. Wait till the storm goes away. The birds sing again. Summertime has come. All the creatures are melting, as well as my heart.
Profile of a Person, Ouyang-shen by Eileen. When Ouyang-shen was very young, his father started a rebel revolution and did not succeed, so Ouyang-shen's whole family was punished and killed. But the government did not punish Ouyang-shen because he was too young. Then a friend of his father adopted Ouyang-shen and taught him calligraphy and history. When Ouyang-shen started writing calligraphy, he imitated Wang Xizhi's writing. When he was older, he gradually created his own writing style and became a very famous calligrapher in the early Tang Dynasty, AD 618 to AD 907. The Korean kingdom Goguryeo wanted Ouyang-shen's writing, so they sent an emissary to China to ask for Ouyang-shen's writing. The Empire of Tang Dynasty said, "I didn't expect people far from Goguryeo to heard of Ouyang-shen's writing. When they see his writing, they must think he is very handsome and burly." Actually, Ouyang-shen was very ugly. Someone wrote about Ouyang-shen's looks and said he was not his father's child. He was born by a monkey. Ouyang-shen always worked hard and did not give up. He became a great calligrapher. He is one of the 4 great calligraphers of the early Tang Dynasty. Nowadays, many beginners choose to imitate Ouyang-shen's writing styles. People think Ouyang-shen is the role model for regular script. Microsoft Office created a font based on Ouyang-shen's calligraphy.
Poetry Haiku by Zoe. The winter ice rink is full of beautiful snow, and the land is bright.
Journal by Daniel. Recently, I'm interested in Steve Jobs. My dad told me he has a book about Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson, but it's English. I tried to read it, but it's too hard for me to read, so I decided to borrow the Chinese version. At the time I searched the book on library's website, I found out the author Walter Isaacson has not only written about Steve Jobs, but also Franklin, Leonardo da Vinci, so I reserved all of his works. After quite some time, my books are ready to be picked up. I cannot wait to open those books and read all of them. It's so great to have a lot of books at home.
5:30 p.m. by Eileen. Orange ball on the west, white half circle on the east, floating high above.
Short story. The War Began by Daniel. The soldiers of Madash lined up and stood on the battlefield to defend against invading Saxoners. The front lines of the troops carry weapons like knives, bows, arrows, armors, spears, and shields. The rest of the army was holding huge masks with long horns and guarding a secretive big machine that was made of cloth and other things. As the Saxoners approached forward, more fear appeared on their faces. However, the enemy's frightening wild beasts, tigers, and elephants could not stop them. They were ready for this battle. The Saxoner got closer and closer. When the distance between them was close to 80 meters, Frederick raised his flag. The soldiers quickly put the huge mask high up in the air and also prepared to operate the big machine. Once they saw Frederick dropping down the flag, they started the big machine. The machine made super loud animal roaring sounds that deafened the Saxoners for a moment. Those wild animals were horrified and scared as well. Next, the soldiers lighted fire on the mask's long horns. With the bright fire on its horn, the thundering roaring sound, the masks looked like scary monsters. The Saxoners, tigers, and elephants were so scared that they scattered and ran as fast as possible back to where they came from. Therefore, the Saxoners' mighty animal army turned into a chaos. Tigers crashed with other tigers. Their weapons were thrown away. Taking this chance, Frederick shouted attack, and the soldiers shot the burning arrows. They picked up the weapons and started fighting back. The Saxoners couldn't keep the army in formation but broke out in different directions for retreat. In the end, they killed 6,538 Saxoners, which were 2 times more than their army, and caught 850 injured Saxoners. It was a huge success.
Poetry. Coffee with Drizzled Honey by Samuel. I made a cup of coffee with drizzled honey this morning. It was sweet, but also a little bit salty. The jalapeno chili cream makes it spicy, and I added a sprinkle of onion chips to let it taste crunchy. No doubt that this drink will make you feel savory. Now, do you want to have a sip of my special coffee?
Pet peeve complaint, Cindy. Every day my sister tickles me and I will says, "Did you just touch mine?" And it goes like, don't, blah, 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 blah. And we go on like this every day. Do you wonder if I ever got tired of it? Yes. So now it's revenge time. Before getting revenge, you need some time to wait till you can beat your sister up. I still can't do that because I have a muscle sister. So then I just kiss or lick her. That will really annoy her. That is why I love and hate to play with my sister.
Advice letter by Zoe. Dear Joanna, every time when I am watching Instagram or reading a novel, I always forget that time is passing, and by the end of the afternoon, I will have done nothing. This is terrible, because when I suddenly become aware of the time, it's bedtime. Please help me. What can I do? From Always Wants to Play on the Phone. Dear Always Wants to Play on the Phone. Oh, I feel your pain. Sometimes when I find something funny or what I like on the phone, I will forget the time too. Of course, I know this is not good, so we have to learn control. What can we do or try? Way 1. Maybe you can ask your parents to help. You know, most phones have apps that can control the use of time. Way 2. You can try using your clock. When time is up, the clock will ring, and you will know phone time is up. Take a rest from the phone. But this way is very, very hard. Most will close the clock or turn off the voice and keep looking at the phone. Way 3. Try to be very busy so you forgets the phone or looking for something you really, really like. And then go do it, and you will forget the phone. Hope these ways can help you. Have a good day, Joanna.
Pet peeve, complaint by Samuel. Okay, here's the thing. I don't like wasting time because since I was little, I have known that time is money, so I kept doing things quickly, except for going to the barbershop and getting my hair done. I think all the hairstylists in Taiwan must be swamped with work every day and must have thousands of clients go to their shop at the same time. Why do I say this? Because every time I go to the barbershop, my stylist will do my hair for a few minutes and then say, "Okay, perfect, wait a second, I'll be right back," and surprisingly disappears for hours. Yes, hours. I'm pretty curious about whether there's a delivery room in that barbershop. Because one time, my stylist was a pregnant woman, and she said that sentence too and then ghosted for hours. To be honest, at that time I was thinking, did she leave to give birth? But when she came back, guess what? She was still pregnant. I really want to study the myth of that barbershop. It might have a black hole or a time machine in it, so that's why my stylist disappeared. Oh yeah, that totally makes sense. A black hole and time machine in a barbershop.